highlight that here. Yeah. So then putting in.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Raise your hand.
Thank you. Thank you. So, I want to remind y'all of this from yesterday, okay? So, what was the equation yesterday? The number 4, 2x squared something?
2x squared minus 12x plus 4.
Thank you, sir. So there it is, right? Now, first things first, I do want to address this about number 4. I asked you to write number 4 in which form?
Vertex.
Vertex form, okay? So, 1, when we know what equation we're going to use, we don't just magically come up with the equation with the numbers plugged in. What's the first thing you should do?
Write the form.
Write that form out, right? I want vertex form, so what is vertex form?
F of x equals 8 times x minus h squared plus k.
If you didn't already know that, you better take advantage of the next 40 minutes to learn that before you understand check. You got to know the vertex form. Now, when I look at this equation, what's A?
2x squared.
Remember, it's ax squared, right? So is the x squared A? No, that just tells me where A is, right? So A is equal to 2. Cool. And you got to know, what do we mean by H and K? The vertex. Okay? And so, two things I want to point out. Does anyone remember how you can add in the grid for this graph?
Go to me. Wait.
Menu.
Go to
Go to
menu.
menu.
Click number 6.
Yo.
Not to get the grid.
No, I need you to go on it first.
Menu.
Then you go to
Graph entry.
No. Yeah.
Well, remember, graph entry is going to let us graph a function, right? I asked, how do I add a grid to that view?
Number 6.
Yeah. I was. Is that not anything?
Listen to what I just said. How do I add a grid to my view?
Oh, view.
Yeah,
Number
ain't
2.
up there. Oh.
And go to grid. Number
Oh, and
6.
then go to grid.
Oh. I didn't see you. I didn't hear you say view.
You see how that can add a grid there?
Yeah.
Now, do you need the grid there?
No.
No, because a lot of y'all are already talking about this. If I go to menu, I could go to... What can help me find... By the way, if I want vertex form, I need the vertex. Thank you. So where am I going to go to find that vertex?
You can go to
Which, analyze that graph. In this case, my vertex is a minimum. And lower bound needs to be below until I hit enter. Scroll to the right, and I hit enter, and there's my vertex. And so in justifying, right, we would want to say h comma k and indicate 3 comma 2. So x minus 3 squared plus 2.
Would you count that as justification?
Have I shown you? You showed me, or I showed you what the equation was for vertex form. You showed me how you got A. You showed me what h and k were. Now, I will make the note, I can't see your calculator screen, so you might want to make an extra note of graphed the standard form to identify the vertex.
Okay.
Right? That would be that last step for you to tell me, hey, this is how I did it.
So we can say that.
I have a question.
Justify or explain what happened? Yeah.
I have
Yes,
a
ma'am.
question. Do we do the calculator stuff with factor form too?
Say that one more time.
Like, do we do this stuff on calculator with factor form too?
Can you help us get the y-intercept from the graph? Miss Kim?
You don't need that. Say that one more time.
Like, is we using factor form for the calculator too?
Factored form? Yes. I got you now. So let's look at that. Yeah, grab a calculator. I'll get that in a second. Okay. So, so we're trying to get, let's look at the next one. What was the next equation?
G of x, 1/2, 1 divided by 2 times x minus 7 squared
times
minus 2.
x.
Minus 2.
Oh, which one y'all looking at?
6.
See?
Be quiet.
Where y'all get 6 from?
We on 6. He
I
told
told
us
you
to
to
do
do
that.
number 6.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, here's the graph. I asked you to take this vertex form and to give me what form? Factored form. So what's the first thing we're going to do?
Write down your equation.
Write down that general equation. Factored.
A times x.
Well, before you get there, don't forget your f of x. A times.
Equals x minus 1 times
X minus R2.
Okay. Does anyone already know what A is?
Half.
That half, right? And so you can indicate that A is equal to 1/2. Cool. Now I still need the what?
R1 and R2.
R1 and R2. With the grid on there, it's pretty easy to see, but it'd be really nice if I didn't even have to count, right? Okay, so what am I going to do to analyze this graph?
Press that you got a maximum.
I'm going to go to menu, analyze that graph. If I want factored form, I need the roots, or another word is a
0.
Oh.
0. See how it asks for a lower bound? So I'm going to go below that root. Go to the right. Hey, stop. I only introduced that term yesterday. And then I went to the right, and there's one of the zeros.
How do I enter this?
And I do it again. 0. Go to the left of that second root and to the right of that second root. I will make this note here that you cannot do both roots at the same time. You can only look at one at a time. So be aware of that. Bless you. So 5, 0, R1, 0,
I don't know
9,
how.
0.
My calculator ain't working.
So f of x equals 1/2 times x minus 5
You're going too
times
fast.
x minus 9.
Yes, sir.
You-
What you do about the
My
square?
calculator no.
What square?
Right here, and you know, in the vertex form, it was square.
I got
Well, because it's x minus h squared, right? But that's vertex form. We're looking at factor form.
So we just take
We
out
don't. It's not that you take out a square. What is x times x?
square.
So like if you distribute, you get the square. Yeah. It's not that you're just getting rid of it. It's just a different form. It would still have the x squared involved. All right. You helping her, Miss Courtney? Okay. Does this make a little bit of sense?
I got enough.
Yes.
Hold on, wait, I got a question.
I was gonna pause for a second for questions. What's up?
I'm looking at
Anthony, don't stop being a punk. What up?
So why wouldn't you use 7 and 2?
Well, because the 7 comma 2 is the what?
It's a
That's your vertex. You were given vertex form. That's only the vertex.
Oh, so you ain't gotta worry about it.
Well, but which form did I ask you to write?
Fact.
Factored form. You don't need a vertex for factored form. You need the
X-intercepts.
x-intercepts, right?
Oh,
So I want you to notice, are these two equations describing the same function? Yes?
yeah,
Is it plus 2? No, minus 2.
minus 2.
Okay? Wait, these are describing the same thing?
No.
Oh, then
So they're what? Equivalent. Remember, every quadratic function for the most part has, well, every quadratic function has at least 2 forms. No, it has 3. We'll get into, so you could write any quadratic function in 3 different forms. Factored form, vertex form, or standard form.
Yes, sir.
And so that's what I'm pointing out here is, hey, we can write it as either one of those. And I gave you vertex form and I'm asking for factored form. Does that make sense? Okay.
So,
You just have to know what factored form is looking for. It's looking for those roots.
okay.
Any other questions before we continue on to other practice?
No, sir, I'm just chilling.
Shut up.
Nuh-uh, we're not just chilling in this class, we're learning math.
It's not really me.
Okay. Really quickly, I do want to actually point this out. I meant to mention this earlier. This was the number 4, right? Right now, do you know how to write that equation in factored form?
Oh, yeah. Not at the time.
You're just talking, you don't know how?
Wait,
No.
Wait,
The
the equation
point-
right there in
If you
factor
show
form.
me, I could recognize it probably.
if you, you saw them points, right?
I'm pointing
You're
out that
saying,
this
like,
is number 4, right? I asked you to write number 4 in what form?
Factor.
Okay, vertex.
Number 4, dude, vertex form, right?
Oh.
Thank you, number 4. I had you write it in vertex form, and we did that. Right now, can you write that in factored form?
Wait, this right here?
Yeah, that one right there.
Yeah, I can. No, I can't.
No.
You got 2 X-intercepts.
No.
Oh, we don't have any x-intercepts?
No, sir.
So we can't do it in factored form?
No, we're gonna have to do the graphic.
Yet. We can't do factored form
Man.
yet. Well, there's a set of numbers called the complex numbers.
We're gonna learn it.
Imaginary numbers, we'll learn them in a couple units, right? Not next unit, but the one after that, I think. Is that what we discussed, Ms. Courtney? So, we will get into something called the complex number system. That's a part of Algebra 2.
This
And
is too
so,
much.
this is why, homegirl, everything is too much until you learn it, but like, you ain't got there yet. Like, oh, I'm just gonna complain about something I don't know because I don't know it. Yeah.
That sounds like it's gonna be hard.
It's not. Okay, I will say this, because the number system is really dumb because they named it in like, there's the real number system, which is what y'all are used to, and the reason it's called a real number system is because when someone discovered the, what we now call imaginary number system, they didn't think it could exist, so they called it imaginaries. But imaginary numbers, complex numbers, they literally are essential to everyday life. The calculators you're using use complex numbers in order to operate. The cell phones that y'all love so much, everything with electricity uses imaginary and complex numbers. So they're very real numbers, we just named them really dumb, and that's why they seem scary. But we'll get to that later, don't worry about it right now.
So what is the actual thing, like,
Like what would the factored form be?
no.
I don't know what you're asking.
Imaginary numbers.
Well, we'll get into it.
It's, yeah, my mind
Does it
is
have to do
blown.
with I equals something?
It deals with I is the square root of -1, yes.
Oh.
Yep, we'll get to that. Alright, so here's what I want you to do to get some practice here. We'll go back to the other problems if we have time, but I want you to look at writing quadratic equations, numbers 1 through 4. Let's do numbers 1 and 2. If you get done with 1 and 2, continue on to 3 and 4 to get some more practice. But we will go over those two for sure. The more you get done, the more practice you have before your understanding check.
Oh, we're done with that already.
No, on writing quadratic equations.
Oh.
On the bottom of the page.
Let's get it.
Okay, let's get to our, or to the top of the page.
Give it vertex and.
Oh, I did one in, I misnumbered and did 1, 2, 3, 4, and then did 1, 2, 3, 4 again, didn't I? So yeah, the bottom half of the page, 1 and 2. Let's get to work. Actually, before we get to work, any questions? Can you what?
That's right.
A paper towel? Yes. Yeah, you can get one of those. That's fine. All right, let's get to work. Put up.
Alright, it giving us the vertex and 2 x-intercepts.
Does it give you 2 x-intercepts?
Oh, one of the two.
Now, if it gave you the vertex and 2 x-intercepts, which form could you use?
Factor. But I got.
Could you only use factored form?
Huh?
If you're given a vertex and 2 x-intercepts.
I can use vertex for.
Uh-huh. But I only gave you 1 x-intercept
So
instead
I'm
of
finna,
with.
so I'm finna use vertex.
Do we all agree on that?
Yeah.
Alright, let's get to work on that, right? And I like what you're doing. Remember to write out that equation to get started. You need the papers, right? That's what I was about to get you.